Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Allison Knows. I'm your host, Allison, and tonight we need to talk about ghosts. Not the supernatural kind, not the kind that rattles chains and moans in the attic, but the kind that walks the halls of power, invisible to most of us, but absolutely essential to understanding how that power actually works. Tonight, we're going to talk about a man you've probably never heard of, a man whose name doesn't appear in headlines, whose face you wouldn't recognize, whose biography reads like it was written by someone trying very hard to hide something. But this man, this ghost, may be the most powerful person in Donald Trump's administration, most powerful than Secretary of State, most powerful or more powerful than the Secretary of Defense, more powerful, arguably, than anyone except Trump himself. And quite honestly, he may even be more powerful than him. His name is Sergio Gore. At least that's what he calls himself now. But by the end of tonight, you're going to understand why Politico calls him Trump's human lie detector, why Elon Musk is tweeting threats about him from what amounts to a gilded cage, and why this man you have never heard of might be the person who determines whether American democracy survives the next 4 years. But first, let me tell you about a squirrel. In 2008, during Barack Obama's first presidential campaign, a man in a squirrel costume started showing up at Obama's rallies. Yeah, not to support Obama, but to heckle him, to disrupt his events, to create chaos and generate negative media coverage. The man in the squirrel costume was young, ambitious, and willing to do whatever it took to advance his political career. He understood something that a lot of political operatives never figured out. Sometimes the best way to get noticed is to make yourself ridiculous. The man in the squirrel costume was Sergio Gore. Now, you might think that's a charming origin story. Young political operative pays his dues, starts at the bottom, works his way up through the ranks. The American dream in action, right? Excuse me. But here's what's interesting about Sergio Gore's origin story. Almost none of it checks out.